Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Givaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Givaradari Jaya Yasodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nita go Haribo, 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 Nita go Haribo. Nitai go Haribo, 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 Nita go Haribo. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajakacharya Stuta Sutta Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajakacharya Stuta Sutta Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki. Nama Acharya Saridas Thakur ki. Prem Sikha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Sishya Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Samakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Mayapur Dham ki jai, Dwarka Dham ki jai, Jagannath Dham ki, Ganga Maya ki, Yamuna Maya ki, Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Sri Krishna Balaram ki, Sri Shada Sundar ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Samvita Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitya Gopi Manande. All glories to the same devotees. All glories to the same devotee. All glories to the same devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru Gauranga. Gurave Gurachandaya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Ta Bhaktaya Namo Nama Agyana Trimandasya Ganan Ganan Salakaya Chaksusmita Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vandeham Sri Guru Shita Patakamala Sri Guru Vaishnavascha Sri Rupam Sakajatan Sahakana Raghunatha Vidantan Sajiva Sadhuetan Savadutan Parjana Satan Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devan Sri Radha Krishna Parasahakana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandha Jakapati Gopisha Gopika Kantu Radha Kantanam Nusati Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakapatarabhyascha Krishna Vicha Paritana Pavana Vibhyo Vaishnava Vibhinam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandana Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kamsacha Nuramadana Devaki Paramananda Krishna Bande Jagaguru Vanchakapatrivascha Kripasinvicha Paritanam Pavanavi Vaishnavi Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I thank everyone for being here this evening, and also for those who are watching from the Vrindavan TV. So we are in the chapter 18 of the Bhagavad Gita, the Moksha Yoga. The Yoga of Liberation is the chapter of Moksha Yoga. Okay, here's the proper title here, the perfection of renunciation. So it's the 18th chapter. Basically, 18th chapter is the summary of all what has been discussed in all the previous chapters. So everything is summarized. And then at the end, Krishna is going to tell Arjuna that just surrender unto me. Because so much knowledge is given in the Bhagavad Gita. And the knowledge that is given in the Bhagavad Gita, it has been analyzed, commented upon by so many personalities, so many sages, so many acharyas. Still, despite the commentary that has been going on, still it has not finished. Because Lord Krishna is speaking. So we read the text first. This is text number 39. Correct? 39, right? Okay. Agre cānubandhe sukham mohanam nidrālasya-pramādotthaṁ tāmasam udāhṛtam agre cānubandhe sukhaṁ mohanam ātmanaḥ nidrālasya-pramādotthaṁ tāmasam udāhṛtam agre cānubandhe sukham mohanam ātmanaḥ nidrālasya-pramādotthaṁ tāmasam udāhṛtam.
agre cānubandhe sukham mohanam ātmanaḥ nidrālasya-pramādotthaṁ tāmasam udāhṛtam agre cānubandhe sukham mohanam ātmanaḥ nidrālasya-pramādotthaṁ tāmasam udāhṛtam.
Ladies.
agre cānubandhe ālasya-pramādotthaṁ tāmasam udāhṛtam.
Yet that which agre in the beginning, cha also, anubandhe at the end, cha also, sukham happiness, mohanam illusory, ātmanaḥ of the self, nidrā sleep, ālasya laziness, pramāda and illusion, uttham produced of, that, tamasam in the mode of ignorance, udāhṛtam is said to be. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance. Purport. One who takes pleasure in laziness and in sleep is certainly in the mode of darkness, ignorance. And one who has no idea how to act and how not to act is also in the mode of ignorance. For the person in the mode of ignorance, everything is illusion. There is no happiness either in the beginning or at the end. For the person in the mode of passion, there might be some kind of ephemeral happiness in the beginning and at the end. And at the end, distress. But for the person in the mode of ignorance, there is only distress, both in the beginning and at the end. So this is very, very interesting section of this chapter 18. As I mentioned before, this chapter 18 covers so many, many topics. Different types of sacrifice, different types of varnashram system. So many, because it's a summary of, after Lord Krishna finishes instructing Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita. So this chapter 18, the law is now, is like we call it recapitulating. It's just re-emphasizing whatever he has taught Arjuna. So in this particular section, the law is talking about the three types of happiness. The three types of happiness, one in the mode of goodness, satyagun, one in the mode of passion, rajagun, rajasic, and one in the mode of tamas. So which means there are three types of happiness. See, and of course there are different occupations in this world by which a person gets a certain type of results, which gets some kind of happiness out of it. Usually you have occupation in the mode of goodness, you have occupation in the mode of ignorance, and then you have occupation in the mode of passion, goodness, passion, ignorance. Different types of occupations are there. But in this world, generally in this world, people, they engage in occupation which will bring them immediate happiness. So you have what we call prayer. There's prayer, and then there's shreya. Prayer means what you do that will give you immediate satisfaction. Just like you are doing your work, you know that you're going to get paid. You get paid, then you enjoy it. So that will give you immediate satisfaction. And then there's a shreya. Shreya means you do something, you don't try to get the benefit right away, but eventually there will be eventual benefit, eventually. The eventual result is eventual happiness. So there was one time, Nada Muni, he was going around one time, and as he was going around, he saw a Muni Putra, the son of a Rishi, Muni Putra. So this Muni Putra is engaging in so many austerities. Brahma is a brahmachari, engaging in a lot of austerities. Normally brahmachari, they perform austerity. Normally they perform austerity, they hardly eat anything. A lot of fasting is there. Not our current day brahmachari. Everybody have a nice accommodation, nice prasadam, nice feasts. But actual brahmacharis mean they live very frugally, you know. They don't know any delicious food, anything like that. Very frugal living, the actual brahmachari. So this brahmachari was engaged, was performing so much austerity, and you know, his body's become very, very skinny. So when Narada Muni saw him, he said, "Oh, Muniputra, Majiva, don't leave." Because he told him, "Majiva, don't leave, because now you are performing so much austerity, so much spiritual practice, that your next life, you're actually going to go to the Rishi Loka, the planet of the sages, whereby everyone is very, very blissful. Everyone is very, very blissful. Just like in there are many planetary system is there. Now above the heavenly planet, then you have Janaloka, Tapaloka, you know, different lokas like that, whereby the rishis, they live for a long period of time, much more higher than the planet of Indra. So in that planet, even though the rishis, they engage in meditation, but there is the happiness there cannot even be described, because the happiness there far surpasses the happiness in the heavenly planet. When you get there, the Janaloka, Tapaloka, so many Satyaloka, of course, the planet of Lord Brahma. So it's one of these planets that Narada Muni said that this is what you attain. So basically, this is called Shreya, whereby one is engaging in a spiritual practice, whereby even though initially it's very, very difficult, but eventually there'll be like satisfaction. And then he saw a king, a prince. He saw a prince. So basically, prince is enjoying himself so much. He has a lot of the prince has a lot of happiness, you know. So much sense gratification is there. So he told the prince, Mamaro, means don't die. He told him, don't die. Because as a prince, you have a lot of facilities for sense gratification, collecting taxes and enjoying people's work and all that. You enjoy it so much now, but in your next life, you know, you're going to suffer in your next life. You're going to go to hellish planet, you're going to suffer. Because in the course of your enjoying your sense gratification, you are giving so much unhappiness to other living entities. You are giving so much suffering to other living entities. So the karma is going to come back to you. Just like we were giving some discourse on the fourth canto Bhagavatam, in the story of King Prachina Bharisat. King Prachina Bharisat was a king who happened to be performing also so many sacrifices. Because as a king, you perform so many sacrifices, so that the result you get, a lot of benefit. So one time Narada Muni, he saw the king, and he told the king that, my dear king, just look at the sky. He gave him a kind of a vision. Just look at the sky. In the sky, do you see all these animals in the sky? You see them? These are all the animals that you have killed, and they are just waiting for you to die, because they're waiting for you to die, and then they're going to pounce upon you. So because all these animals which you've killed in the sacrifices, they will come back and basically give you torment you, the same kind of suffering you have given to them. They are waiting to give you the same thing. So, but that's a rajasic occupation, of course. So the Narada Muni told the prince that Mahamaru, don't die, because once you die, then you will, your life is going to be terrible. Your next life is going to be terrible. And then he saw a butcher who was, the occupation itself is tamagun. Okay, a butcher is all day long killing animals all day long. The body is full of blood and all that. The body is full of blood. So when he saw this butcher, so Narada Muni said, Mahamaru Majiva, don't live and don't die. Because now your life is hellish, as being a butcher, and then when you die, you're going to go to hellish environment. So don't live, don't die, because your life is already hellish. And when you die again, you're going to go to a hellish planet. And then he saw a Vaishnava that is always engaging in, Shravana Kirtana, Nam Kirtan, hearing Bhagavatam, doing Nam Japa, Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavad Shravana, deity seva. So he saw the Vaishnava, and when he saw the Vaishnava, he said, Jivava Marova. Jivava Marova, for the Vaishnava, it doesn't really matter if you're alive or dead. Because now, when you're engaging in bhakti, in devotional service of the Lord, you're engaging in devotional service of the Lord, so this is your activity now, and either you live or die, you'll be engaging in devotional. You are already engaging in the devotional service of the Lord, and you'll be doing the same thing when you die. So, for you, live alive or not alive is the same thing. It doesn't matter, because a devotee, a Vaishnava, is already situated in the transcendental activities. So there is a verse in Bhagavatam, 11th canto, chapter 25, when Lord Krishna is telling Uddhava that Satvikam sukham ātmanaḥ visayotam tu rajasam tāmasam moha danyotam niguna mada pasrayam. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that happiness derived from realization of the self is sattvic. Sattvic, which means it's come from the realization of the self through the spiritual practice. That is sattvic, it's called sattvic. And happiness derived from sense pleasure is rajasic. So that's the mode of passion, rajasic. And happiness that arises from a deluded, wretched condition is tamasic. And the happiness that comes from the performance of Kirtana, Shravana, etc., of Sri Bhagavan is nigun, is transcendental. So which means the happiness that devotees get is not considered either sattvagun or rajagun or tamagun. It's transcendental, it's nigun. Nigun means it's beyond any material qualities. So that's why the happiness of devotional service cannot really be estimated. Even as he said that the happiness that the devotee get and the happiness compared to even the happiness of the impersonalist, it's like you have the ocean, and then you have the hoof print of a calf. A calf is just a small animal. Sometimes when the calf walk in the mud, so some small water may be accumulated. So that's the hoof print of a calf. So the happiness, the impersonal liberation, the happiness of impersonal liberation is compared to what contained within the hoof print of a calf. Whereas the bhakti, happiness that arises from performing bhakti, arising from the realization of the Supreme Lord, that comes from that's compared to the ocean, which is the ocean of bliss. We often say the ocean of bliss like this. So, as I mentioned in this verse, that the tāmasam, udāhṛtam, the happiness which is of the mode of ignorance. Because when someone is in the mode of ignorance, they really don't know the difference. Almost illusion and drinking. There's always, I was just thinking of some story. Now, I remember a long time ago, I used to hear that only two types of people are happy in this world. Two types of people are happy in this world. And what are those two types? One is a Paramahansa Vaishnava. He's always happy, transcendental happiness, Paramahansa Vaishnava. And the other one is someone who's in the mode of ignorance. And a deluded person who's in the mode of ignorance is happy because he doesn't know what is happening. He's always happy in his state. Not like when you go especially in the West, you will see all these bombs, all these people always drinking, they're always drunk. They're drunk all the time, they're drinking. So to them, it's like they are completely oblivious of what's going on in the society. So to them, they're always drunk, full of illusion. So to them, it's like so-called happiness in the mode of ignorance. So everybody is in between. There's no happiness in between, which means the karmis, the neophyte devotees, neophyte bhaktas. Neophyte bhakta is never happy because it's always desiring, always hankering, this and that. Where's my next specialty going to come from? Or the man is always giving trouble. The man is always troublesome. So a neophyte devotee is never happy. And then, of course, then the general kami is also never happy. So you have these two. So which means you have those two. You have a Paramahansa, who is on the topmost level of self-realization. He's always happy because he's relishing his association with Krishna constantly. He's relishing his relationship with Krishna. He's absorbed in bhakti ras. So because he's always absorbed in bhakti ras, so he's always happy. That transcendental happiness, spiritual bliss. Whereas a neophyte does not have that. So therefore, it's difficult for a neophyte devotee to be happy. And similarly, a person in the mode of ignorance think that he's happy. I think somebody was given a class. Just like sometimes you see like a mad person. Yeah, somebody was telling us that sometimes there was devotees. They were going on the Harinam, and as they were going to Harinam, they saw this person. This happened to be a madman. So this person was sitting in the mud, and it was also raining. So this person is sitting in the mud, raining, and he feels himself completely content, completely self-satisfied. So he feels himself completely, happy, satisfied by being in just so-called relishment. Anybody try to tell him to get up and come to a nicer place, he will get angry. Say that, why you want to disturb me? Why you want to disturb me? He will get angry. So this is the thing that with someone's mode of ignorance, they don't know the difference between good or bad. They don't know. Perpetual illusion is happiness which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion. So that's not what we want to be in. That's not what a devotee wants to be in. So it's been described in the Bhakti Sastra that as they said that happiness, which in the beginning is very, very, it's like in the beginning, it's like bitter. In the beginning is bitter. At the end, it's, it's like nectar in the end. So this is what we call prayer and Shreya. Prayer and Shreya. No. Prayer means, actually that's because Shreya means because in the beginning it's very troublesome because just like many of us, when we enter the ashram, when we join the ashram, you have to be told to wake up in the morning. You have to wake up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you have to take bath. I remember when I joined America, we had to take cold shower in the wintertime, especially if you live in the north, like West Virginia or Ohio or Michigan. You're from Michigan. It can be very, very cold in the winter times. This cold is nothing. This is like a springtime here. This weather is like spring. The actual cold, you go to the North America. Maybe, I don't know about the Himalaya, but the actual cold it's really cold. That no matter how many sweaters or pants or jacket you wear or hat you wear, you are still cold. You are still cold. No matter how many sweater, pants or jacket, you're still cold. So we as brahmacharis, we have to endure that. We have to, sometime in West Virginia, we have to break the, in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, we have to break the ice to take shower because the water is freezing. So you have to break the ice to take shower, and doing that, so which means you take shower, the shower only lasts 1 or 2 minutes. It cannot last more than 1 or 2. Just Hare Krishna, you take the bucket of water on your head. So, when you just join the ashram, and then you are told to perform all this austerity, it's very difficult. It's very troublesome. It's like go and say, oh my God, why did I join this? Why did I come to this? What have I done in my last life that I deserve this? Sometimes you'll be blaming yourself that I've come to this situation, But for those who are able to endure, because they know that the goal is different, they have a big picture. The big picture is there in the goal. So the big picture is there, that yes, the attainment is to attain Krishna, to attain the Lord, to attain the loving devotional service to the Lord, whereby the end is very, very blissful. But in the beginning, it's very, very troublesome. So spiritual life is actually based on voluntarily taking austerity. Voluntarily taking austerity, spiritual life is based on that. As they say, that easy life and Krishna consciousness do not go together. Because we cannot come to Krishna consciousness and at the same time we expect to have easy life. Easy life and Krishna consciousness do not go together. Because we have come to this material world to enjoy ourselves. We turn our back towards Krishna. We come to the material world. So to get out, then it's not that easy to get out of the material world. When especially Maya, because when Maya actually know that you are making an attempt to get out of the material world by cultivating Krishna consciousness. So Maya will give you so many, impediments. Maya will give you so many impediments in the form of allurement. We give a lot of impediments that, especially when everybody's waking up in the morning, say, hey, Prabhu, get up, get up. Maya will say, why you have to get up 3 o'clock in the morning? Come on, keep sleeping. Keep sleeping. So Maya will tell you that, just keep sleeping. You can sleep till 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Why you have to put so much? Why you have to put all this austerity upon yourself? Especially again, you have to give up so many. You have to follow many rules and regulations. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex. All these things you have to follow. So why you have to do all these things? Just look outside. See how people are very happy outside. See how people are enjoying themselves outside. So the Maya Devi, she will give you all this allurement, which is actually impediment for a spiritualist. So therefore, that's why he mentioned that it required a very strong determination in order to get success in the spiritual life. The strong determination is there, which means that yes, I have to follow this, I have to follow this path, and I have to endure all the difficulty that may come. I have to endure all these difficulties that may come. And for those who are able to endure that difficulty, it's mentioned that the success is their, which means is what's called the 30 compounds, the 30 compound verse, that, which means they become qualified to attain the success. We see the case of the Pandavas, who are the prime example of great devotees, the Pandavas. But the Pandavas, even though they are great devotee of Krishna, they are the beloved devotee of Krishna, but they have to undergo so many troubles. They have to undergo so many difficulties on account of them being Krishna's devotee. They are having so many difficulties. They were given so much harassment by their cousins, and So eventually, they get their kingdom. After the war Kurukshetra, the Pandavas they got their kingdom. So all the trouble seems to be over. They got the kingdoms, and then Krishna was with them also. And then Mother Kunti, she went to Krishna to pray to Krishna, and then she was saying, "My dear Lord, my dear Krishna, in the past we're having so many troubles. We're having so many difficulties, and whenever we have this difficulty, we're always calling upon you. And each time we call upon you, you immediately appear to us. You immediately come and be with us. But now, all our problems seems to be over now. All our problems is over. And now you are going away because after the Kurukshetra, the Pandavas, they got their kingdom. So Krishna is going back to Dwarka. So she said, now you are going away. You are going back to Dwarka. So what happened to us? Now for you going away, this actually means the beginning of our problem. And our problem is that we will no longer see you because all the difficulties have gone. So our problem is that we will no longer see you. Therefore, my dear Krishna, I'm praying to you, please give us difficulties. Give us problem. Because when you give us problem, we will be calling upon you again and again. And for those who call upon you, there will be no more repetition of birth and death. For those who call upon you. So how many of us here is praying for difficulty? The moment we have some problems, sometimes we immediately go around to the spiritual master. Hey, Guru Maharaj, this problem, that problem. We start going to the Guru to help us to solve the problems, It's like we cannot tolerate any difficulty in Krishna consciousness. We cannot tolerate it. But Kunti Devi, she's praying for difficulty. She said, my dear Krishna, give us problem. Because each time we have problem, we call upon you, and then you appear before us. Krishna appeared before them because they are very sincere, very dedicated, pure devotees of Krishna. Now, coming on this point of devotee praying for difficulty from Krishna, so there was one time when Yudhishthira Maharaj, he and his brothers, they were having a conversation with Nardamuni. They are having a conversation with Nardamuni. And in this conversation, they are saying that in their relationship with Krishna, they are very, very content, satisfied. They are Krishna, they are devotees. But it becomes troublesome when ordinary people, when they see the Pandavas having so many, many difficulties. So when they see the Pandavas having so many difficulties, so people in general, they will say that these Pandavas, they are Krishna's devotee. And because they are Krishna devotees, they are having so many problems. Their kingdom been taken away. They were sent to exile. So many things, many problems there. And they are supposed to be devotee of Krishna. So therefore, why should I be a devotee? If I become a devotee of Krishna, I'm also going to be having the same problem. Why should I worship Krishna? So this is the anxiety that Yudhishthira Maharaj was having. That people, they will take this problem we are having in a different way. They will say that why should we worship the Lord? Whereas devotees, his happiness is to see people worshiping the Lord. That is his happiness. His happiness to see people taking up the devotional service of the Lord. After all, Krishna's name is called Hari. So Hari takes the mind away from everything else and divert everyone's mind to him. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was expressing this anxiety before Nardamuni, that this is very constant. And that's why one time, Nardamuni, he actually made a request to Krishna one time. Not Nardamuni, Yudhishthira Maharaj. He made a request to Krishna. He said, my dear Krishna, I need some benediction. So Krishna said that, what benediction do you want? Well, I want to have a big empire that no empire will rival it in this world. Krishna said, okay. And then I want to have the most beautiful wife in the planet, that nobody will even, no other woman will have as beauty as she is. So Krishna said, it's okay. And then, and of course, he got the kingdom, then he got the most beautiful wife, Draupadi. Then Krishna asked him that, my dear Yudhishthira Maharaj, you are my dear devotees. And my dear devotees do not desire all these things. So why are you asking me to give you all this benediction, having a big empire, having a vast riches, having a dedicated brothers, and having the most beautiful man? So why are you asking me? Because these are the things my devotees don't want. Nadana Janana Sundarim, Kavatava Jagadis Kama, devotees do not want any riches, they don't want anything. They just want only Krishna. So Yudhishthira Maharaj replied that, well, I'm asking for all these things, not for my own personal enjoyment. Because it's understandable that people, when they become your devotees, they become deprived of everything when they become your devotees. So therefore, I'm asking for this thing, not for my own enjoyment, my own sake, but I'm asking for this thing, is that when people see me, Yudhishthira Maharaj, as the emperor of a vast empire which there's no other empire that can compare to it, as the husband of the most beautiful woman, as the possessor of vast riches, well-relations. So when they see this, they will think that, oh, Yudhishthira Maharaj is such a great king. Look at his wealth, his wife, everything. So therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he happened to be a devotee of Krishna. So being a devotee of Krishna, so therefore, I can also be a devotee of Krishna. You know? So which means they will no longer think of material impediment. They say, oh, I can also be a devotee of Krishna. So in this way, devotee, we think of, we make varieties of plans just for people to become devotee. Because that's how a devotee is blessed, is to see when people become bhaktas. As they say, when a devotee see the world becoming Krishna conscious, you know that the world is happy, so he is happy. Whereas, if the world is not Krishna conscious, no one is happy and he is not happy. So therefore it's called paradukkha dukhi, like that. So, so in this way, the devotees, they have this various mode. So anyway, this particular verse which you are reading here, we can just meditate on it, that the happiness in the mode of goodness, in the passion and ignorance, but the transcendental happiness is different. The transcendental happiness is beyond, is niguna, is beyond any kind of material modes. So I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much. It's very, very nice. Actually, I could go on because Krishna then keep going on and all that. So any question or comment? Anybody would like to say something, would like to add something to this topic of the happiness? Yeah.
How can we differentiate what mood we are in when we are feeling happy? How do we know? Are we in ignorance? Are we in passion? Are we in sattvic mood? Like how can we know that? What's transcendental happiness?
Well, first of all, devotee's happiness, it's come from inside, come from self-realization. It's not coming from some material stimuli. It's not that when you get a nice plate of prasadam, you're very, very happy, you know. No. It comes from inside, as they say. There is, because when you chant, especially when you chant the Lord's name, when you chant, the certain bliss that is there that you will not stop chanting, because Krishna's name is so sweet, and you chant his name, you'll be begging to have more mouth, more ears to hear his name. You'll be begging for it. So that is transcendental bliss, transcendental satisfaction. So that happiness, it comes from spiritual realization, it comes from inside, when the soul is satisfied. So that we cannot, in that we can ask ourselves, what happiness I'm getting? Am I happy when I hear Krishna Katha going on? You know, or I'm in a class and I'm simply waiting for when the speaker will finish. So we have to be asking ourselves that question. You know, so if we become attracted to Krishna, then the real happiness will come, which comes from the soul. And that happiness is perpetual, it's always there. There is no diminution, it doesn't end. It's always on. And it's always increasing also. You know. But sometimes the Paramahansas, sometimes people cannot understand their bliss. Like one time, Srila Prabhupada was in the West. Srila Prabhupada was in a deep meditative mood one time. When devotee look at him, it looks as if he was morose. So devotee asked him that, Prabhupada, why are you looking unhappy? They asked him. And the Prabhupada replied that, well, you don't understand, you don't know spiritual happiness. So that's why you're asking this question. You don't understand spiritual happiness. So which means the materialist, non-devotees, a person who's not a practitioner of yoga, can never understand this kind of happiness. They can never understand it. But as we become more and more serious in our practice, so eventually this will come eventually. Yeah.
Prabhuji, I think there's a nice selection that Srila Prabhupada makes in the first line. Prabhupada says, one who takes pleasure. Prabhupada doesn't use the word experiences pleasure, which I think is interesting when you look at the last line, where it says, but there is the person in the mode of ignorance, there's only distress both in the beginning and the end. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that truly, in the mode of ignorance, this is so-called happiness, someone who takes pleasure in laziness,
Yeah.
taking that and calling that real pleasure.
Exactly.
But it's not actually being experienced in reality. I think Prabhupada's choice of word is really nice.
Yeah, so that's why I was mentioning the fact that there are two people who are happy in this world, two types of people. One is Paramahansa and the other one is an ignorant person. A Paramahansa has a true happiness, but a lesser person, someone is in illusion, he thinks that he's happy because he doesn't know what is happiness. Being in illusion, sleeping, laziness, drunken state. Say, oh, this is good for me. So he's satisfied. He's not bothered in the material. He doesn't bother. It's, he walk naked on the street. He's not bothered by it. So that is the nature of material world. That's the nature of this material world. So, yeah, Prabhupada said it. Somebody who's perpetually he was lazy, sleep. So that's mode of ignorance. And such people, they think they are happy. They think so. I mean, you cannot even tell them that you are suffering, you are such a stupid fellow. You cannot tell them anything. Just as they say that if you tell a madman that you are mad, he will say that you are mad. You cannot tell a madman that he's mad, he will say that you are mad. Yeah, that's the reality, Okay, any other point? It's actually a very nice place for this. This is a nice room. This conference room is very nice for this class. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Gopi Manandi. Hare Krishna.